So welcome everyone to the latest episode of Coffee with Christiansen. Today I am joined by the multi-talented lady, Suzanna Hext, who is triple European champion in power dressage and a multi-world medalist in power swimming. Welcome, Suze. So for people who don't know about your history, 2012 was a big year, life-changing year for you. Tell us about what happened.
Yeah, 2012 was a big year for me. I finished uni, so graduated from uni, equine science, and then kind of my life was on track, and I felt like kind of everything was falling into place. And then on the 26th of July 2012, my whole world fell apart, and in the evening I had an accident, just a freak accident, breaking in a young horse, and he reared over and landed on top of me, rolled off me and then rolled back across me, just to add insult to injury. I was completely crushed, and yeah, I had suffered spinal and head injuries, and yeah, broke my pelvis within an inch of its life and shattered my shoulder. So did a proper job, and I'm very lucky
do everything by half, do you?
No. Very lucky to be here today. So yeah, big change for me in 2012, and yeah, I'd be lying if I said it didn't completely kind of close every door on every facet of the life that I had already kind of put together, and yeah, pretty dark times, and like felt like I kind of lost my sense of identity as such.
Yeah, I can only imagine, because I almost think, and feel free to disagree, but when you've had a disability from birth, you have had your whole life to kind of work things out, work out how you're going to do things, and you know, for me, I don't know anything different. So I really feel for those with acquired disabilities. I think that must be so much harder. But
Yeah, it was tough. It was even like, obviously my parents, they had a 5-hour drive up to the John Radcliffe where I was airlifted to, and my parents' house wasn't set up for someone with a disability, and I certainly, like, the life that I was living was not like something you could do as a disabled person. So there was a lot of changes, like even getting used to having carers help you.
yeah,
Massive thing for me. Like, I'm a very independent person, still very independent, and like having someone, like, I guess it's, yeah, trusting someone to help you, and kind of letting someone in that sense, was really hard for me.
definitely. But while you were in hospital just after your accident was the Paralympic Games, and you told me about, you know, lying in hospital watching the games on TV. How did that influence, like, your rehab and your motivation to get back on the horse?
Massively influenced my rehab. So my accident was the day before the opening ceremony for the Olympics, and I was obviously laid flat on my back, and watching a lot on TV. And then when the Paralympics came on, it was something that I thought, if they can do it, like, I can do it. There's no reason why I can't. Had the surgeons telling me I'd never walk again, I'd never ride again, and I was like, watch me, I will. So yeah, so that was a massive influence. I had a physio in Cornwall called Gemma, who was also a big part of this, and she she got me to take my saddle into my physio sessions, and so I used to get wheeled in by my carer with my saddle on my lap, and with a massive grin on my face, and we'd practice my neuro exercises in it, so like catching a ball and stuff, because my coordination was so poor, like I couldn't hold myself any stability. So we did that first, and she knew a lot about para dressage, and I think that's kind of where it all started. So the London 2012 Paralympics, I think, like for the whole nation, like not just for me with a disability, like, but it kind of put it on the map, like for people that didn't necessarily understand about Paralympics. Like London was a huge thing, like having it on home turf. So yeah, it was a massive influence for me watching that.
Oh, that is lovely to hear. And you were saying that as you got stronger, Pammy Hutton was a huge influence in helping you actually get back on a horse.
Yeah, so Pammy's trained me since I was 12 years old. So she knows me well, and she also knows how stubborn I am. So I went up to hers. This was just before I actually got back in the saddle, and I said, I need to get my life back. I want to ride again. And she was like, oh God, because she knew it was coming. She knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And she was like, go to an RDA first. So I went to an RDA in Cornwall, and with Mark Cunliffe, and started off there. But she also used to teach there, Pammy did. So she would come down and help a bit as well. But I kind of started there, and then that's when we started taking my stirrups away as well, which was, you know, a huge thing. That was Mark's idea, because when I first started riding, it was very stop-start. It was do a tiny bit, spasm, stop for ages, do a tiny bit, and it was very frustrating. So then once we got that sorted, I then moved up to actually base mainly at Talon, but also to work at the vets again, which I was working at before my accident. So so it was a pretty big step, and it was really nice because it kind of gave me like my sense of purpose back, and like a bit more of my identity, because I was being independent away from my family and not having to rely on everyone else. So that was a huge step forward for me.
Great. And we were talking about, the horse you won the Europeans on, Abera. His trot is like massive. So obviously from first getting back on an RDA horse, the movement, you must have had to relearn little by little how to sit to that movement. Tell us a bit about how you manage that.
So it's progressive. So at the RDA, Lakefield RDA, I progressed up from a horse called Buster through to like horses that had slightly bigger trots. That's kind of how we started it. And then when I moved up to Talon to base with Pammy, she had a little horse called a Mo, which I rode first, and she did have quite a big canter, but she didn't have as big a trot, so to sit to it was probably slightly easier. And then she said, I couldn't believe my eyes when she said, oh, do you want to have a sit on a Vera? And I was like, oh my God, like, so, because my hearing isn't very good, I was like, are you sure? Like, are you okay? And because he's obviously her special horse, and I sat on him, and the first time I sat on him, I was like, oh my word, I am never going to be able to sit this trot and like stay stable in the saddle. And it took time, and Abira got to know me, and the use of I use my voice and 2 whips, and I think over time we kind of learned to understand each other in many respects. He has got a very big trot, and I absolutely love it now because I can sit to it. But when I first got on him, I was like, yeah, this is never going to happen. So
yeah, and I think that's a really important lesson to, young para riders, looking at the types of horses that we ride now. You can't stop on those. Like, even you, who had years of experience as an able-bodied rider, like, you need to build it up gradually and learn your craft. So that's really interesting to hear.
yeah, it's like we built it up gradually, and it was also things like taking the stirrups away, which as an ex-eventer was something that I didn't really think I wanted to do. But yeah, it turned out that it was the best thing we could do. Things like the saddle we changed, so I've got a Albion saddle with like Velcro knee blocks that we can move around, so that I'm like secure in the saddle and have quite a deep seat. So it's kind of like trying different things out as well, and not expecting it to happen overnight, because it just doesn't happen that quickly. You want it to, but it doesn't happen that quickly.
Definitely, yeah. It's like being open-minded to different ideas and different people's ideas. Um,
Yeah.
so Ibera obviously took you to the Europeans in 2017. That was my first championship, so I hadn't been in contention too, so it was quite different for me watching it and cheering you guys on from home, but I loved it. So tell us about your experience that week.
Oh, like it makes me smile just thinking about it. Like it was the best week of my life by a long way, and it's quite strange because like after my accident, I never really thought I would enjoy my life again, like not to the same extent as before, because I really had got everything, like I felt pretty set in life. And yeah, to be able to say like I've had the best week of my life post my accident, I think is pretty amazing. Completely down to the support I've had. You know, Pammy and Charlie letting me ride a Vera, like I couldn't have thought of that happening in a million dreams. Like amazing. And he's a very special horse. Like he knows when I'm not quite right. So the last day I was really struggling in the freestyle. My body had slightly given up on me, and honestly the music came on and he just danced his little socks off. I got to the end and I was like, I was emotional, happy, a wreck, and just, I mean, like he's just a special horse, and like I hope I find another one at some point. But honestly, he's given me so much over the years, and he's given me my life back. I'll be completely honest. Pammy has given me my life back, and so has Abira. So yeah, I owe everything to them.
Uh, yeah, I know. I bet that championship was quite different because three of you, that was your first championship.
Yeah,
And to come back with Team Gold, with two, with three, newbies was quite something. Yeah, yeah,
Sophie,
and
Sophie
thinking,
like she held us all together, or like she was brilliant with all of us. It was like you say, it was our first championship, and you know, she was like almost like looking after us on our way through the journey, because you know she's so experienced and we were obviously so new to it, hadn't really no idea what we were doing, but we loved it. Like it was a great team spirit, and also a great team around us helping us, like
yeah.
that made a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, the team behind the team is, I can't thank them enough. We're on the front pages on TV, but actually we wouldn't be there without a massive team behind us.
100%.
We're really lucky to have that kind of support from the UK sport and lottery funding. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
So obviously before your accident your background was eventing. So eventing is quite a high adrenaline sport, whereas power dressage maybe not so much. Like how would you describe the difference, like why do you love both even though they're so different?
I think it's just having that like partnership with the horse. Like you build up so much trust between each other. Like eventing, those horses, like to jump those massive fences, I mean, they have to have massive trust in the rider. And it's the same a bit like with para dressage, like I say, with a beer on that last day, and almost, it was more probably 90% him and 10% me on top. So, like, I think it is the partnership and that bond you have with the horse that I love the most. Like, to be honest with you, I love just being in the stable with the horses and just being around them. Like, obviously we're in lockdown at the moment, and so my old event mare is still going at the age of 28 years old, and I've been getting her in. My parents have been getting her into the stables for me to groom her once a week, and it's I can't do anything else on her, but it's about being around that kind of, like, if I've had it from 6 years old through to now, like you don't want to get rid of that. Like that's a massive part of my life. So I think both have given me so much. Like, I love the adrenaline. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. But then, the thrill of like dancing on an amazing horse is, you can't beat it. Amazing.
And we were saying that, for people who are new to power dressage, we'd really recommend them coming to watch the freestyle events because
Yeah.
music makes it so individual and so exciting, that that is the one to watch. And we need more spectators coming to see us. Obviously the caliber of horses that we need now is huge.
Yes.
So to get more people involved in the sport would really help us out in terms of owners and sponsorship and revenue. So if you're a fan of watching cross country, you might want to check out Power Dressage Freestyle.
Yeah, so like the freestyle is like, my parents have always said they love the freestyle because like it kind of takes you on a journey. Like the music takes you on that kind of journey through it, and like my parents have got quite emotional in my freestyle test before because of them, just the music and like the horse dancing is very special. And we need more owners in the sport, and it's very different to eventing. There are more owners in eventing with that high adrenaline kind of sport. But I hope that like some people start, even just come and watch us do some freestyle tests and get involved and spread the word. That's what it's about, spreading the word.
Definitely. So talking about adrenaline, I came to watch you compete at the World Swimming Championships in London last year. That must have been amazing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's serious adrenaline, which I love. And London was spectacular, and for me really special because when I was in hospital I was watching the London 2012 Paralympics in the swimming pool on TV, and then to do like that full circle back round to like competing in that pool myself, I was like, this is absolutely mental. Like never in my wildest dreams would I have ever thought that was going to happen. But like when I dived in that first day, I just like, I'm deaf as a post, but I could hear the roar of the crowd going down that pool. I was like, I better keep going, because you like the crowd just kept you going down that pool. So that it was the most amazing competition, and to have it on home turf made it even more special. And like I think as a newcomer into the sport, like of swimming, so like it was a very quick quickly into the sport. I only got classified in the January and then went to the Worlds in September. So everyone was very supportive and like a real team spirit around it, which was really special. And like people helping me and telling me where I need to go and stuff. Like I really had no idea what I was doing, other than knowing what to do in the swimming pool. So yeah, I loved it. Like to come away with a silver and a bronze medal was way more than I expected. So yeah, sensational.
I was there cheering you on.
Yeah, I know, it's good, really good.
So, have you learned anything from swimming that you would think about maybe implementing in dressage, either in your own routine or within the team environment?
I think it's more like, I'm like the fittest I've probably ever been at this time in my life. Which even though like, so I'm deteriorating in terms of my disability, unfortunately, but I'm the fittest that I've ever been in my life. So yeah, probably fitness wise, like, going back to riding, I would continue keeping myself as fit as I am now. Because like, even on that last day at the Europeans, okay, part of it was neural fatigue. But I think being as fit as I am now would probably help me. And then in the team, like in terms of team spirit, like I think fairly similar between the two sports. Both sports work together really well. I think, yeah, both, like even during this lockdown, like I've been really impressed with the way like British Swimming have like helped us. We've had Zoom calls coming in out of our ears, like honestly, like I've already had 3 Zoom calls today. So
Really?
yeah, I've
Wow,
been doing parties, I've had physiology session, I've had the head coach. So
amazing.
yeah, so it's good. Like I think we could learn some stuff coming out of lockdown. Like I think you said the other day, it's nice to do the Zoom calls because like seeing your teammates, you act like, especially in equestrian, you only actually ever see them either at a competition or at squad training.
Yeah.
And like I know that actually I've quite enjoyed seeing my teammates a little bit more often, and some that I don't know that well, just getting to know them. So I mean, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but I think there are things we could learn from lockdown, for our whole team. And like, well, even like you said, equestrian, like moving forward, it's nice to see your teammates. You're so spread apart. So
Definitely.
I don't think there's like that much I would change, like different between the two, other than keeping myself as fit as I probably am now.
And I couldn't agree with that more. People might wonder, oh, like keeping fit the whole state or the
Yeah,
way.
that's what a lot of people think.
But actually, I think for power dressage in particular, the fitter I am, the more able I am. So the
Yeah,
less my disability affects me. So and Tokyo is gonna be a really hot, difficult environment to perform in. So getting as fit as possible for that is gonna be the key. Um,
yeah, yeah. No, definitely. I think like fitness for anyone, like in any sport, is imperative. Like I think I just have realised now quite how fit I am, and actually I'd like to carry that on back into equestrian when I have finished swimming at some point. So yeah,
So you're aiming to continue swimming until Tokyo.
yeah.
Um, how's the year the now we're competing a year later? Has that affected you much? What are your aims now for
Um,
Tokyo next year?
it like I'd be lying if I said I wasn't gutted. I was in a really good place before we ended up in lockdown. Swimming probably, well, certainly the best times that I've ever swum. So Yeah, I'm a bit gutted, but I am going to put all the work I can into keeping fit now we're in lockdown, and coming back like hopefully better and stronger for next year. And you know, we've got a lot of support around us to keep us in shape for next year. But yeah, well, fingers crossed it happens next year. But I mean, I'll be devastated if it doesn't. But yeah, I think we've just all got to keep our fingers crossed. But yeah, no, I don't think it's affected me like too much. Like at the moment, I really miss my teammates, and like just having that, like that almost that banter and fun at the pool.
Yeah.
But I am currently training in the sea instead, so just mixing up my training a bit. So yeah, still keeping fit, but yeah, it's not the same as being with your friends.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it would be nice if we all get back to normal. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, you know, as an athlete, I think we're always quite adaptable and flexible. We're used to like having to change our plans.
yeah,
So this is just another example of that. And yeah, I'm hoping we'll all come out stronger next year. Uh,
yeah. I think like especially us as like you say as para athletes, we're used to like, I don't know, having a setback or something not going quite right, like physically as well,
yeah,
and having to come back from that. Like a lot of people haven't necessarily had to have this amount of time like at home or not able to do something. Well, I think like slightly my accidents held me in good stead from that point of view. I have had to go through the sort of lockdown situation before. But yeah, it's I think we'll all come back like more of a team unit, like a stronger as a team. And because I think we'll like it's almost I think we'll appreciate life a bit more, like everything we've got, even like that bit more, because we haven't had it for so long, and I think actually it will make us more of a unit afterwards. That's what I'm hoping.
definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Guys, if you've enjoyed listening to Sue, she is all over social media. So if you need a bit of inspiration or a pick me up, definitely give her a follow. Thank you so much, Suze.
Thank you, Sophie. It's great to catch up.